Well, good morning. Here's the dog. Here's the woods. Let's get into it. This video is a walk in the woods. It isn't like your normal high glitz YouTube. Yeah, it's just a guy and his dog walking through the woods with you, a friend. And along the way that we kind of walk and talk and discuss things that may be on our mind, just like people really normally should or would. So yeah, a little slower pace. Enjoying a really nice day today. Nice and cool. It was so yesterday too. Move in a bit there. Sun is hidden a bit behind the clouds. These are elms tree. They're gorgeous. They're big and strong, and they've been there for so long. Again, just a beautiful part of the walk in the woods. And if you don't mind, it seems it's biscuit time. All right, fed the dog. Time for food for thought, if you don't mind. Already today in my walk and my meditations, I hope that you would help me with, because that's what it is about. It's talking about ideas and getting other people's opinions. Sure, I know we can't just talk to each other right this moment, but use that comment line, and please, oh, do you see it? There's a deer. Oh, this is where missing the glitz. But if you can just see, there, she moved the Y shape of her ears. She's looking right at us now and turned, and there she goes. Hey, we're in Michigan. That's a white-tailed deer. Oh, she's got a couple of babes with her. We're in late July. Her fawns are quite a bit bigger. I'm just almost positive that's the doe with the two fawns. They're not into a place where they can really be independent of her. They still do rely on her to teach them where to eat and how to act. I talk with familiarity of that doe, as I am very familiar with this area. This is a nature preserve that was put together by our community. It's actually a abandoned golf course that the community got together and got it designated as a nature preserve. Yeah, right in the middle of the city, but it is full of nature and a beautiful walk. Let me take that off, and again, you're welcome for the low quality of this video. I'm a simple man on a simple walk with a simple mind that needs your help on the topic of: is seeing believing, or is believing seeing? I guess even when I first started mulling this over in my mind, you could see the strangeness of that opposing idea. Seeing is believing, or is it believing is seeing? Just go over it with me real quick as I get it into my mind. So much of our world is seeing is believing. And there's a lot of truth to that. we see something, and therefore we believe it. In a world full of videos and snippets, we see things, and then it creates our belief. From there, we see it and we believe it, or we construct a belief on it. I am going to then bring up that there is a far greater possibility that we miss, is believing is seeing. I don't know, let's see if we can't work this out. I'm going to go with believing is seeing. The other one is already self-explanatory. And I'm going to tell you that in my devotions today and in my life, I had come upon a verse that was speaking about the Israelites having left Egypt. That's called the Exodus. And they sent out a group of 12 men as scouts or spies. And they went into Canaan. And they were looking at that land. God had told the Israelites, this is your land. This is your promised land. And so these guys were sent out to go survey the land. Yet when they get there, they look out into the land. They're looking here, they're looking there. They're checking and searching things out quietly or silently or in whatever clandestine way they are. And after looking at it, the 12 men come back to the leaders of the Israelites, and 10 of the men says, this land is full of giants. Now we could go ahead and discuss the actual word there, giants, being people of extreme height and strength. But their report was, they will look upon us as grasshoppers. Excuse me. And just, they'd crush us. Two of the men, Caleb and called Joshua, reported, it is a land full of milk and honey. Let's go get it. They were all seeing the same thing. Yet one came back with a belief system different than the other. Why is that? And I will submit, because as I further meditated on it, there's verses in the Bible, and this one probably best expressed it for me, is that I do believe it's in Romans, maybe Romans 26. Don't quote me, but the idea is the paraphrase of all things work together for good for those who love the Lord and are going about his good business. Now, again, paraphrasing, but you're not trying to just pick out pieces of this verse, but you can already overall hear that all things work together for good for those who love the Lord. Which then says to me, believing is seeing. You understand what I'm saying? It's like all things work together for good. All things is not just the good things. It's even the bad things. The things that we are seeing and believing are an obstacle in our way. Something that would stop us from heading towards the God-intended goal in our lives. So therefore, when Caleb and Joshua looked on it, they were believing God, believing that he loved them, and so therefore, seen with a different kind of eye. They believed God had sent them to survey the land they were going to inhabit. The others went to see a land whose facts seem to add up to, we can't do this. This isn't our land. They were seeing and believing. The others were believing and then seeing. You know, I bring this up because in our own lives, how do we go about taking in information and disseminating it, and how do we live our everyday life? If I walk around only seeing what seeing is believing, this world would just crush us. We are frozen. We cannot move forward. And yet if I look at the world and say believing is seeing, then the obstacles that are in my way are only obstacles that are going to be moved away. Because all things work together for good for those who love the Lord. Here's the tough thing about what I'm talking about. This isn't some kind of magic trick. This isn't just something that you can, I'm telling you the secret. You have to also understand that verse says, for those who love the Lord and are going about his good purpose. Let's just go with the first part of it is for those who love the Lord. So there is already built into this believing. So you must first start and understand and believe in God, and that's fine. But the next step is believing his character, and where can you find that character? We can find that character in the absolute personality of Jesus, the Christ, the Messiah, Yeshua, whatever name that you would use. But the words basically comes down to the Savior, or God is Savior. How do you come to that belief? First off, you come to it by seeing is believing. Strange. You see the words of the Bible, you see the history of Jesus the Christ, and you start to seeing is believing. Yet as you do slide into and see that saving grace comes from the sacrifice of Jesus Christ, and come to the understanding of that, the next part is believing is seeing. For even now, when I look at different things in this world, I can look through them through two different kinds of eyes. Seeing is believing, and believing is seeing. I see something that is happening, I believe it, but then again, I also know in my heart that I believe all things work together for those, that's going to be me, I'm part of those who love the Lord. I don't know much else I can say on that situation. Maybe I strummed up something in your mind, and maybe you can help me with some descriptions of what I was just talking about. Or is there something on your mind? Put it in the comments. I hope to see you soon. And I do believe that many of you will end up being called upon to listen to and join us on our walks together. Until then, may God bless you, his face shine upon you. Shalom.